They told us that back at Fairchild in POW training that you should have a simple story with very few details as a cover story in case you ever get captured, so that you don't want many details because you don't want to get caught telling more than one lie about the same thing. So I didn't have that done. I was on my way home, and I was only 25 years old, and I flew B-52s, and we never went where you could get shot down. So I didn't have that. I had to develop that on the run. So I told him I was just a celestial navigator. All I did was navigate over water using the sun or the stars for navigation points. And when we got over land, the radar navigator took over, and he did all that other stuff with the electronics, and I don't know anything about it. And they said, we know you know, you're a young man, you're plenty smart. If you don't tell us what we want to know, we'll take you where the B-52s are bombing. And I'm standing there thinking, I don't think you're going to leave the building. You don't seem to be excited about that idea. But I didn't say that out loud. And so they asked questions about the frequency of the radar, and I'm avoiding those answers. And they asked questions about weapons load, they wanted to know who the commanders were at the B-52 bases. And I said, I'm a crew dog. I fly the airplanes. I don't care who they are. They don't bother me. I don't bother them. I look at the schedule. If I'm scheduled to fly, I fly. That's all I know, which was basically true. And they didn't see the interrogation. Well, there were points where it was kind of rough. They asked me a question about a decoy missile that was in the inventory called a Quail. And I thought it was a small missile about 30 feet long carried in the Bombay, and you could launch it at a jet engine and had a lot of radar reflectors on it. So on a radar set on the ground, it looked as big as a B-52. So it gave them false targets to fire at. And I'm thinking, how do they know about this? And I said, well, do you have any quail on the airplane? I said, no, I don't think so. I think the co-pilot had fried chicken, but other people had roast beef or something. They said, no, in the Bombay. I said, well, no, the Bombay's not heated or pressurized. What they said was not bird quail, missile quail. Did you have any missiles in your Bombay? And I said, no, it's not heated or pressurized. They'd die back there. And that's when I got hit with a rifle. Somebody behind me I didn't know was there. And when they picked me up off the ground, they said, not bird quail, missile quail. And that's when I said, look, I'm a celestial navigator. That's all I know.
There was a knock on the door, and outside were two white-top blue cars. And that's how you know in the Air Force at that time that there was a problem. If you saw a white-top blue car drive up, you knew it was going to be notification of some sort. Well, I didn't have one car. I had two cars of people. I had a chaplain. I had colonels, base commander, wing commanders. I don't remember the mix, but it was a large contingency of from 4 to 6 people, which is an unusual amount. Normally, it's just 2 people that notify you. So they all trooped in the house. And, of course, they apologized for being there. And, oh, the tension was thick. My mother put her arm around me as they read this letter telling me he was MIA. And my first response was, you said Hanoi? He was flying over Hanoi? B-52s don't fly over Hanoi. What the hell was he doing in Hanoi? First time they had ever been allowed to fly that far north in the whole war. So they have to read this letter to you. They cannot just come out and tell you. They have to read it to you. So it was very... it was hard to listen to somebody reading to you, for one thing, because you have so many questions that are running through your head in a very short time period. But you had to listen, so I did. And of course, the tears came and the gnashing of teeth and the whole 9 yards. But my notification was so different from other people.
Tell us about that.
Well, the number of people, for one, the amount of friendship that was already in the room was very difficult. They had never made a notification that a B-52 had gone down over Hanoi, so for them it was a very different story. They didn't know how to do it either, you know. It was very strange.